Hello and welcome to Movies Unbound, the channel where we take a deep dive into your favorite movies and go behind the scenes with the creators and stars to see how it was made. In this video, we're peeling back the layers of the substance to reveal its gory secrets. You'll witness Demi Moore's shocking transformation from Hollywood icon to body horror phenomenon, achieved through a masterful blend of practical effects and cutting-edge tech. We'll take you inside the makeup trailer where Moore spent up to 6 hours becoming Elisabeth Sparkle, show you how sound designers created audio so visceral it makes your skin crawl, and expose the clever camera tricks that bring impossible body contortions to life. By the end, you'll see the substance for what it truly is, a triumph of modern horror craftsmanship. Be warned, spoilers ahead. Demi's daring dive into body horror. You might think you know Demi Moore from her iconic roles, but the substance is about to show you a side of her you've never seen before. At 61, Moore is taking on her most physically demanding role yet, as Elisabeth Sparkle, a fading celebrity grappling with the harsh realities of aging in Hollywood. This isn't just another character for Moore, it's a transformation that pushes her to the absolute limits of her craft. Let's talk about the incredible makeup process that brought Elisabeth Sparkle to life. Imagine a team of 15 artists, led by the talented Pierre-Olivier Persin, working tirelessly to create realistic aging effects using silicone and foam latex. These weren't just any old prosthetics. Each piece was carefully sculpted to match Moore's skin tone and movements. It's like they were creating a living, breathing work of art right on Moore's face. But here's where things get really interesting. Moore's character goes through several stages of transformation, including what they called a golem stage. Now, we're not talking about CGI here. This was all practical effects that required an insane amount of attention to detail. The makeup team had to make sure every wrinkle, every sag, every imperfection looked absolutely real. And you know what? It took a lot of time to get it right. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but how hard can it really be to sit in a makeup chair? Well, let me tell you, it's not just about sitting still. In one particularly challenging scene, Moore had to repeatedly apply and smear makeup on camera. This wasn't just acting, it was physically taxing work that could have actually damaged her skin if they weren't careful. The makeup artist had to step in to protect Moore's skin between takes. That's how intense this role was. But Moore wasn't just passively sitting there while the makeup team worked their magic. She was an active participant in bringing Elisabeth Sparkle to life. Moore worked closely with the effects team to make sure her performance could shine through all those layers of latex and silicone. It's like she was learning a whole new language of acting, how to emote and express herself when her face was literally covered in prosthetics. What's really cool about this role is how it connects to Moore's own experiences in Hollywood. She said, "I feel like I've had my own journey around placing a lot of value, especially when I was younger, on my body and what it looked like. It's like she's using her own past to fuel this character's struggles, making Elisabeth Sparkle feel even more real and relatable." So what was the end result of all this hard work and dedication? Well, get ready for some truly shocking transformations. Moore's commitment to the role allowed her to become almost unrecognizable at times. It's not just about looking different, it's about embodying a character so completely that you forget you're watching Demi Moore on screen. Old school tricks meet modern tech. You might think you've seen it all when it comes to body horror, but the substance is about to take you on a wild ride through the gnarliest practical effects since the 1980s. Director Coralie Fargeat wanted to create a visceral experience that would make your skin crawl without relying on computer trickery. But how do you pull off mind-bending body transformations in the age of CGI? The answer lies in a surprising mix of old-school movie magic and cutting-edge materials. When Pierre-Olivier Persin, the film's prosthetics and makeup mastermind, first read the script, he knew he was in for a challenge. "It fell out of my hands, and I went, wow, I need to meet with Coralie," Persin recalls. This wasn't going to be your average makeup job. Fargeat wanted to push the boundaries of what practical effects could do in modern cinema. To tackle this monster of a project, Persin and his team looked to the classics for inspiration. They pored over old issues of Fangoria magazine, studying interviews with the effects wizards behind movies like The Fly. These vintage horror flicks became a treasure trove of ideas for creating believable body transformations without relying on computers. But don't think for a second that the substance is stuck in the past. The team combined those time-tested techniques with modern materials like silicone and foam latex. This blend of old and new allowed them to create prosthetics that were more flexible, realistic, and horrifying than ever before. Person explains their process. You start with the live cast or scan, then you sculpt the change you want to obtain, and then you mold those sculptures. It's like sculpting nightmares, but with science. The film's climactic scene features some truly grotesque body changes that'll have you squirming in your seat. Fargeat had a specific vision in mind. I wanted the monster to be heavy, which contrasts so much with the dancer figure that we fantasize about being delicate with a thin waist. This clash between beauty ideals and monstrous reality is at the heart of the substance's horror. To bring this twisted vision to life, the effects team created an unholy creature they dubbed Monstro Elisabeth. Person reveals, we had 2 full bodysuits, 2 partial bodysuits, and a mold of Moore's head. This modular approach allowed them to show different stages of the transformation, each more disturbing than the last. But practical effects are only part of the equation. The real magic happens when you combine those physical elements with clever camera work, lighting, and sound design. Fargeat and her cinematographer, Benjamin Kraken, used every trick in the book to sell the illusion of Moore's body defying the laws of nature. They played with shadows, used strategic camera angles, and employed editing techniques that make the impossible seem real. And let's not forget about the power of sound. The audio team worked overtime to create skin-crawling noises that match the visuals. Every stretch, tear, and squelch was carefully crafted to make you feel like you're right there in the middle of this body horror nightmare. Now, you might be wondering, did they really pull all this off without any computer effects? Well, not entirely. The team did use some CGI, but only sparingly to enhance the practical work, never to replace it. This approach gives the substance a tangible, organic feel that pure computer graphics just can't match. Fargeat's commitment to practical effects reached its gory peak in the film's explosive finale. Picture this: over 30,000 gallons of fake blood ready to rain down on set. And who was at the controls of this crimson deluge? None other than Fargeat herself, determined to get the perfect shot. Talk about hands-on directing. While Fargeat was unleashing a tidal wave of fake blood, another transformation was taking place behind the scenes. What if the substance isn't just a horror film, but a career-defining moment for its star? Demi Moore's role as Elisabeth Sparkle marks a significant return to leading roles after a period of relative absence from the spotlight. Many thought Moore's days as a Hollywood heavyweight were behind her, but this gruesome role might just be her ticket back to the top. The part of Elisabeth Sparkle wasn't for the faint of heart. It required an actress willing to be vulnerable and transform completely, both physically and emotionally. Moore saw this as an opportunity to challenge herself and prove her range as an actress. And boy, did she rise to the occasion. The physical and emotional demands of the role pushed Moore to new limits, forcing her to confront some pretty heavy themes. What's really interesting is how Moore's personal experiences played into her performance. Fargeat specifically sought Moore for the role due to her status as a symbol of Hollywood beauty. Fargeat knew that Moore could bring something special to the character, stating, "The part needed to be embodied by an actress who was a symbol herself." Talk about perfect casting. Moore didn't shy away from the challenging aspects of the role. In fact, she embraced them. She described the film as a reflection of the violence women can inflict upon themselves due to societal pressures. In her own words, "What really struck me was the harsh violence against oneself. It's not what's being done to you, it's what we do to ourselves." Pretty deep stuff, right? The film's narrative serves as a metaphor for the lengths women go to maintain their youth and beauty in a society that often devalues them as they age. Moore's character, Elisabeth, faces a profound internal struggle as she grapples with her identity and self-worth. This resonates with many viewers, particularly women experiencing similar societal pressures. It's not just a horror movie, it's a commentary on some very real issues. Now, here's where things get really exciting. Early screenings of the film have generated some serious buzz about Moore's performance. Critics are praising her willingness to embrace such a challenging and unconventional role. Many are calling it one of the best performances of her career. That's saying something, considering Moore's impressive filmography. The Substance has been making waves on the awards circuit too. It's been nominated for multiple awards, including a Golden Globe for Moore. This highlights the film's impact and how her performance is resonating with audiences and critics alike. Could we be looking at a potential Oscar nod? It's too early to tell, but the buzz is definitely there. What's really cool about this comeback is how it challenges Hollywood's usual narrative about aging actresses. Moore is proving that there are still meaty, complex roles out there for women over 50. She's showing that age isn't a limitation, but an asset that can bring depth and nuance to a character. The critical reception of The Substance has been largely positive, with many praising its bold commentary on aging and beauty standards. Moore's fearless portrayal of a woman confronting her own self-loathing has struck a chord with viewers. It's not often we see such raw, honest depictions of these issues on screen. What are your thoughts on The Substance? Is this the beginning of a massive comeback for Demi Moore, or just a flash in the pan? What other films would you like us to delve into on Movies Unbound? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to get all the latest from Movies Unbound. See you in the next one!